Hey, y'all, so I'm back. I'm here with another video. Yes, I am back in my room. They finally fixed the damn electricity in my apartment. Thank God. Amen. So I'm back in front of my door. So today I am going to give, I don't really know how long this review is going to be, but I'm going to give a review on Malcolm and Marie. If you don't know, Malcolm and Marie is on Netflix. It is starring Zendaya and what is it, John David Washington, aka Denzel Washington's son. If y'all don't know him from anything, he was just in that movie that came out, Tenet, I think that's what it's called. So let me see my overall thoughts on the movie. I thought it was really good. Um, is that his name? I want to make sure, y'all. I'm sorry. I want to make sure that I'm saying his name right because I want to give him his flowers. Okay, yes, John David Washington. He acted his ass off. I mean, Zendaya came through and did what she needed to do too. Don't get it twisted. But I think that that one particular like little rant he went off like he did like at the very end after he read the LA Times review, that's Oscar worthy. That's how you know that's Denzel's son. I was like, you better fucking act. You better act, okay? Zendaya is everything. I feel like Marie I feel like Marie is is like Rue when she gets older in like a weird way. If y'all watch Euphoria, then y'all would know like the correlation or whatever. I just feel like that's like if Rue got older and she kind of got her shit together a little bit, that's what she would give me. But not necessarily, because Rue has a different personality, honestly and truly. But anyway, let's get to it. So we start off, and I love the fact that the entire movie was in black and white. I wonder if I could put this whole review in black and white. If I could do that, that would be dope. If not, it's fine. But I love the whole entire black and white. I love the fact it was black and white the whole movie. I don't know, it just gave it a different type of feeling. The cinematography for when they first came in the house and the way that the first like couple minutes of the scene is shot like specifically through the windows of the house. Stop fucking notch, top notch. But anyway, Zendaya comes in looking amazing. Like she looks like as much as she's probably worth in real life. She looks really good. John fine as hell as we all know. So pretty much what happens is that he is a director. Okay? Malcolm is a director, okay? And that's kind of pretty much I'll pretty much give a synopsis. The movie is pretty much about Malcolm, who is a director, how him and his girl Marie, they're coming home from his directorial debut, and pretty much the inner workings of their relationship and how it kind of ties to what happened or I guess didn't happen that night. And just kind of the different layers of their relationship. It's very interesting. I know a lot of people didn't like it. I really liked it. I felt like it hit on a lot of different things, especially if you're in a relationship, then you would connect, whether it's in a good way or a bad way. You gonna connect to this some way somehow, if you've been in any type of relationship. So I'm just going through my notes, y'all. Let me see. I got here. How is this bitch so captivating and insatiable? Because she didn't say nothing like the first couple minutes of the movie. It's just Malcolm listening to James Brown. I also like the way that they used like music like oldies but the goodies type music like throughout the movie, sprinkled it out to kind of throw out certain messages without actually saying it. But he's like running around the house to James Brown. That whole scene is amazing. And Zendaya, she's not saying nothing. She's just looking amazing. She didn't say anything, but sis is entirely captivating. I was here for her. Okay, so Malcolm pretty much talks about how white people take every black film and you know how they take every black film and make it pretty much about race regardless. And that's one of the themes that's kind of like talked about a lot in this movie, is how a lot of critics, a lot of white critics, anytime there's a black movie or a black film that's out, they always wanted to go through it and instead of just looking at it as like a regular ass movie, like if I don't know, Dakota Fanning was in something, and just saying, oh well, it's about a girl who went and did this and she had problems. Y'all look at it when a black filmmaker does it, y'all always look at it from the lens of, oh well, that's a black female who went through this and the race and this. And sometimes film directors, they don't want it to be looked into it that deep, like it's just another girl, yes, like he said, her being black, because I guess the movie, that he directed is about a girl named Amani who pretty much has like, you know, some problems and some dealings with drugs as well as some mental health issues and pretty much her journey. And so he pretty much was like, you know, I don't need y'all to be telling me about how, oh, as a black person, and oh, it's not even that deep. It's just simply a girl going through something, and this is like, you know, her plight. Yes, she is a black female, and that plays into some of the things, but that's not just all who she is, and I get that. um and the one thing I thought about when he said that is, if anybody watches I mean listens to the read, which is with Kid Fury and Crystal, this is like from years ago, but I remember Crystal had a read, and she did it on, no, Kid Fury had a read, and I forgot who he did it on, but it was one of these news outlets. And this is when The Best Man Holiday came out. Actually, I want to make sure that I have it right. um The Best Man Holiday had came out, and I'm trying to think who said that. There we go. It was USA Today, and yeah, this is a long time ago. This is back in 2013 when that movie had came out, and at the time, USA Today had put out a caption that said, there was like another big movie that had came out or something like that at the time. I can't think of what the big movie at the time was, but the headline pretty much said Best Man Holiday, um, race themed film, you know, beats whatever like white movie was in at the time, whatever. And it's like, why it Best Holiday is not race themed. Like, what are you talking about? And Kid Fury went on this whole rant pretty much about how, why is it every time it's a black film, y'all have to do it that way? Like he said, The Best Man Holiday is literally just about a group of friends who haven't seen each other in a really long time coming together. You could have took, and this is his words exactly, you could have took any white cast for real, white people, and put them in the same situation, and y'all wouldn't say that it's race themed. That's what we're kind of talking about. So I understand. You know, he just pretty much was talking about, you know, how he wants the freedom as a black director to make whatever it is that he want to make without y'all trying to connect it to identity, because that's pretty much the word he was using, identity. Let me see what else we got here. So there's this scene, right, when Zendaya, she's just like making his macaroni, whatever, box macaroni, mind you, and you know he's like, yeah, you look so good, and he's kissing all over her, and the ass kissing on her ass and kissing on her. Mm-hmm. And I said, sis, and she just looked so bothered. She looked so unbothered. I'm like, no, sis, nope, because it would have been curtains. We would have knocked that macaroni. It would have been curtains. But she was not impressed. So now the question is, why is Marie angry? I also want to say the way I segmented this whole movie out in my notes was by rounds, because to me, and maybe it should be less about rounds and more like acts, because it kind of reminded me of a play a little bit. But the reason I did rounds is because there was at least like 6 rounds between these people where they was going back and forth, you know. So that's how I have it. So this is round one pretty much. So why is Marie angry? So okay, now this whole first round triggered me something serious, because when I'm telling you, I related, you know. So one of the things he asked her is, what's wrong, Marie? What's wrong, Marie? What's wrong? What's wrong? What's the problem? She's like, I don't want to talk about it. Like, let's not do it tonight. Let's not do it tonight. No, let's talk about it. No. Do you know how many times I have been like, I don't want to do it today? Because I'm tired, because I'm exhausted, because like she said, it's going to be taken to a whole other level, and I don't even feel like dealing with that tonight. But still, you keep going. Triggered. That's what first triggered me, okay? But Marie pretty much is upset because she said that after he was done with the movie was done, he gave his speech, he didn't thank her. He did not thank her at all in her speech. And you know, he was like, oh my gosh, it's not that big of a deal. And it's like, you don't get it, my guy. Which that whole little speech that she went off at the very end, where she pretty much said what she wished he would have said, that's it. It's the simple shit. It's the little things. Shout out to the Denzel Washington movie, that was good, that just came out. It's the little things that count. It's the little things that add up. And you simply saying thank you to you might not be a big deal, but it can mean the world to somebody else. I said, yes, ma'am. So you know, he's like, oh, well, you know, I asked you if you was okay during the movie. I asked you, and you said yeah. And she said, well, Malcolm, I changed my mind. I changed my mind. I don't love you no more. I don't love you no more. Now, I could see her doing that simply because she probably didn't want to ruin the actual moment for him. So I could see why she would do that. What is she supposed to say? No, I'm not okay. And then just be like this the whole movie? No, come on. Do that later when you get to the crib. And so she's more so upset because to her she feels like the movie was pretty much based heavily on her life. They didn't say the age difference between them in the movie, but you know, he referenced it a lot about her being 20 and how she didn't have anything and this is that and third. um and so, you know, so they end up splitting apart. You know, she goes into the room, he's sitting at the table eating his macaroni, and he's sitting there calling her unstable and like just going off. Mind you, she's not saying nothing. Oh my gosh, that's so triggering. Like when you be getting into an argument and you be like, all right, you want to know what? I'm just gonna walk away. I ain't gonna even say nothing. And you walk away, and then the other person is still running their mouth, and you're like, yeah, I'm trying to just be cool. I walked away. I said I'm gonna let it go, but you still hear them. He was gaslighting the fuck out of her. I'm triggered. I'm feeling your name. Triggered. So Maurice, we also hear about this girl named Taylor. Now Taylor is the actress who played in the movie. Who played now the girl's name in the movie is Imani. So Taylor's the actress who played her, you know, and so she comes up a couple times and you know, he feels like pretty much that like she's jealous of Taylor, and she was like, it's not even that, you know, she was just like, at the end of the day, I don't like how you cater to everything that has to go on around with her, and to be quite honest, you cater to everyone else but me. I said, oh, bitch, speak my life. Oh my gosh, I don't know how many times I have said that right there. You cater to everybody else but me. You drop everything at a dime to do everything for everybody but me. And I know I'm not the only person that feels like that. Not all, but a lot of my friends, they say that all the time. Like, when it comes to me, I could wait. When it comes to me, it doesn't get done. But when anybody else asks, you get to go. I had to pause the movie. Okay? Speak a word, sis. Speak a word, okay? So he kept pretty much going around saying, like, it's not about you, it's not about you. Another bar that she dropped, she said, once you know someone loves you and cares for you, you never think about them again. Once you're about to lose them is when you care. That second part, once you lose them, you care. We know that. But that first line, once you know someone loves you and cares for you, you never think about them again. Whoever wrote that, put that on a t-shirt. I can't count how many times I have said that and felt, child. I just kept watching the whole thing like, is this my life? Is this my life? Like, I'm not an actress, but is this my life? Insanity. So we're gonna go to round two, okay? Round two, to me, what I deem as the start of round two. So, you know, she talks about how she feels like Malcolm is indifferent, you know, and you know, when it comes to anything, if she was on the arm of another man, he wouldn't really care. He wouldn't care. And she says, you know, that it's weird, he's indifferent, but he's also really needy at the same time. So, you know, she goes off about, you know, how she doesn't have a life and how that's why him being needy makes it so that she doesn't have a life. So he goes on this whole tangent pretty much saying how he wants her to have a life. Like, Marie, I want you to have a life, because if you didn't have a life, then you're probably going to end up, you know, relapsing. Because if y'all don't know, I don't know if I said it, but Marie is also a recovering drug addict as well. And so, or former drug addict. And so he says, so she pretty much says, you know, that she gave up her dream of being an actress to pretty much help him and to be by his side. And, you know, he goes on this big ass long cursing her out, because this is when she's in the bedroom and he's just going off. And his whole thing was pretty much saying that, like, that he was there pretty much throughout her whole journey of her, you know, being high as hell and trying to get clean, and then her fucking one of his friends, and then him still being there for her, and pretty much saying like, you can't blame me for your shortcomings, like, you know what I mean, because I've been there for you. And you know, so after he goes off on her, Marie gets up and she's like, well, you sitting up here talking about, you know, you stood by my side, but let's be real, it wasn't because you really cared, it's because I was a good story. Okay, I was 20 years old, and you know, I was just pretty much a good story, you know, for the movie that you have now. You've never seen something as crazy and as layered as me, so that's why you cared. It's not like you really truly give a fuck about me. And she just dragged the hell out of him and said, nigga, you're never gonna be nobody Spike Lee, you're never gonna be no Barry Jenkins, because you don't have an original idea. All you do is steal off of people. You steal their spirit, you steal this, you steal that. I said drag him, sis, drag him, because she was pissed pretty much that he threw her addiction in his face. Hold on, sorry, my laptop was about to die. Yeah, so she was pretty much pissed about that. So then we go to round 3, which is probably one of the most intense rounds. This is when she's in a bathroom, okay? And you know, he's outside going off, you know, so he comes into the bathroom. He's like, so you think I'm mediocre? That's what you think about me, doing like my film? And I do like how she said, she was like, I said all of that, and all you heard was that you're mediocre. Like, that just shows what she ends up saying about him at the end, like how narcissistic you are. Like, I said all of that, and all you heard was you mediocre. So he says, well, all you talking about me, but all you do is think about you at the end of the day. You know, you think that whole film was completely based about you when it really wasn't. It was a combination of different girls. So he starts listing girl after girl after girl, and oh, when she was on a bike ride, that was this person, and me and Kiki was in the heart-shaped hotel in Marriott, and then the one girl who actually really truly broke my heart, she still be hitting me up and telling me she wish she had a kid with me. First of all, I would like to say a couple things about that. Number one, completely disrespectful. I would have drowned him. Number two, he's actually telling facts though about like how like past people really will hit you up and be like, oh, I wish this was you. Been there, done that. And so yeah, he would have been dragged. He would have been drowned if that was me. That whole little tangent he went off on, disrespectful. And he also, so at the end of him going off on his little tangent about all different girls, he was like, at the end of the day, I never been with somebody that wants to be talked bad to. Like, you like for people to hurt you, like in a really weird way. And he was like, the only part about that movie that was real about you is the end, when I pretty much tried to depict the fact that no matter what it is, she can never accept the fact that somebody actually loves her, and I actually love you, but you think it's something else. So that whole scene was intense. It was really really good. Um, so then we have round 4. To me, round 4. She goes outside and you know she's playing Dionne Warwick, Get Rid of Him. Okay, so which I think is funny. He ends up snapping out because LA Time Review come out. Now they talked about in the beginning of the movie how there was this white girl who came up to him after the movie, and you know how she was just doing the absolute most. So after he reads it, you know, again, it's the white woman talking about, you know, pretty much just focusing on the race aspect of it, and but at the same time trying to call him, like saying that he was sexualizing the girl during I can't say it on YouTube, but an R scene, you know. And so he just went off, and like I said, that whole little part of him snapping out, he deserves some type of reward for that whole ass monologue. He was going off, and it was hilarious because at the end of the day, I am Zendaya. When he was going off, that's how I am when he be going off about work. I just be like, I be cracking the fuck up, cracking the hell up. So I love that whole part. Then we go on to the next round, which to me, which is round 5, and this comes to where she pretty much asks like, why wasn't I cast for the movie? You know, like, cause she said, can I ask you something without you hurting my feelings? He said, oh gosh, yeah, which I've been there too. But she said, why wasn't I cast for the movie? Like, you know, and he was like, so that's why you started this whole argument, cause you're jealous. And she said, it's more than that. Like, you're just looking at it from such a surface level. It's the fact that you was able to take my story and make it and mold it and put it in a beautiful way, but I don't have that opportunity anymore to tell my story and flip it into something beautiful, because you pretty much taken that from me. And I understood what she was saying. um you know, he says that she didn't try her hardest, you know, when it came to, you know, the audition, because he did let her audition, but he said she didn't try her hardest. She said, well, I didn't try my hardest because I didn't feel like you wanted me there. And he said, oh, okay, so now it's my fault, you know, pretty much. I'm sorry, y'all. It's my fault that, you know, you didn't try your hardest because you felt like I didn't want you there. And I know to him that might sound stupid, but I can understand that. Maybe because I'm a woman, I don't know. But I can understand you being like, well, I did want to do this, but now it seems like this nigga don't even really want me here. So even if I do try my hardest, like, does it matter? Because it don't seem like he really wants me around. So just fuck it. So I understand that. She shouldn't have done that, but I understand it. Then she pretty much goes on about, then she just goes completely off and talking about how he's inauthentic, and then he goes on the whole rant about what inauthentic means and how people don't really understand what that means. I was cracking up because, like I said, Zendaya, she's me. She's calling him. She was like, "You're full of shit. You're full of shit. You're fake as fuck. I don't care. You're a fake ass." And at the end, when she was like, "I hate you," and he was like, "I hate you too," I said, "Yep, that's me and him. That's us. That's us. Toxic as hell, but that's us." So then the very last round that I pretty much got it off. I feel like it's the last round is she comes into the living room, right? She comes to the living room with a knife, and he's sitting on the floor. She's sitting on the floor, and she goes, "You know, I'm not on antidepressants. I was never fucking clean. Like I was never clean, okay? And I stole from your mom, and I'm actually happy that I stole from your mom, you know." And she was like, "I fucked your friends. Like, I fucked your friends, you know?" And she said, "And I don't even feel no type of way about it." And he's just like, "Oh gosh, oh gosh." Because she has a knife, and she was just like, "So where are the pills? Where are the pills?" And I'm like, "Oh, this bitch about to kill him." And then she drops the knife and she said, "And that's what you got, like, and that's what you call authentic." I think she said something like that. I said, "Yes, bitch, you better act." So the whole point of that was pretty much to show him, like, she said to him in the room, like, the reason it would have been better for me to do this is because I actually lived it. I actually went through it. So if I was the one that was actually on the screen, I would have made your movie and your film better, but you didn't give me that chance. You had to get somebody who had to act like they've been through that when I actually been through that. And I feel like that's a good message as far as what is the word, inclusivity, I think that's how you say, yeah. So for instance, when people be like, "Oh, it's not that big of a deal that, you know, somebody is pretending to be, you know, handicapped, what's the problem with that?" There is a problem with that, because you could have just got somebody who's actually handicapped and know what that's like. Or like you know, I think there was like this thing where somebody was like, "Oh, T.I.'s about to play somebody that has vitiligo," and it's like, why would you do that when you can just hire somebody who has vitiligo? I'm pretty sure there's not a whole lot of directors and shit looking for people who has vitiligo. So why didn't you actually go and find the person who has that? They can actually speak to that experience. You know what I mean? So I absolutely understand that. I get that. I get it. And so yeah, so he ends up getting all turned on. He was like, "Oh my gosh, you're right, my film would have been so much better." He's turned on by the toxicity. And I understand everybody saying that this movie is just a toxic couple, but it's now, no, these two are absolutely toxic, absolutely to the next level. But I feel like the arguments that they had throughout this movie, and the certain lines that were said and certain points were made, that can be said in almost any and every relationship. Like, not all of them, and maybe not the way that they express their feelings, but the sentiments and the meanings behind a lot of what they were saying, I think that comes up in relationships a hell of a lot. I heard, we'll get to it in the end. So she starts messing around with him and stuff, and she ends up stopping, pretty much telling him, like, "In my opinion, you take it too far when we argue." Like, she was pretty much really pissed about him listing all of the girls, as she should be, you know. And she was like, "The reason I would never do that to you is because, or the reason I never even asked you about any of your past girlfriends is because the what ifs keeps the tension in relationships." And I'm like, "Ooh, that's an interesting line." And she pretty much breaks it down to be like, you know, "I always wonder, you know, what if he had another girl that was prettier than me, nicer than me, smarter than me?" And because I always have those what ifs, I always put my best foot forward when it comes to trying to be your girlfriend. I'm always trying to be the best girlfriend possible, because I have no idea if you know, had somebody previous to me that was better in all of these different areas. But you, on your hand, you know, that's back to his narcissism. She said, "The reason why you don't care about that when it comes to me, of if I've ever had somebody better than you or smarter than you or more successful than you, is because your ego and your narcissism are so to a level that you feel like there can't be nobody better than me." I said, "Oof." I got a chill ran through my body when she said that. I said, "Yeah." These niggas be thinking that they the only ones and nobody's better, and you ain't gonna do no better. Talk about it. And so, she was like, you never stop to think like, what can I do to be a better partner? And at the end of the day, I'm the only person that's able to check you. And that's pretty much where you should love me. And she goes on this whole, little thing about how she wishes that he would have thanked her, Thank you for being an inspiration for this. Thank you for helping me. Thank you for the coffee that you got me in the morning. Thank you for doing all this stuff that you did for me because you didn't have to do it. And like I said, it is the little things, like, gentlemen, I'm going to say that. It is the little things. It's the little things. It's the little things that add up. But like I said, I feel like this movie was really good. Like I was saying before, I feel like this movie has hit in a lot of different areas. Like, I can see so many different relationships just in this movie, like so many different parts and lines and attitudes. I could be like, yep, that was me at one point. Oh, yep, that's such and such. Oh, yep, that's Kiera. Oh, yep, that's Monica. Like, I can just see the different dynamics. It was good to me, y'all. I'm sorry, it was good to me. But y'all tell me what y'all think about